Today we're talking about the Tate brothers. Crime is legal, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to just jump into it now. I want to say it's an auspicious day. Not only are the Epstein files about to be released, we also released Andrew and Tristan Tate. They're free to leave Romania, all because, according to the Financial Times, the White House and government officials have been pressuring Romania to let these poor persecuted influencers go. Here's the scoop from the Financial Times. The Tate's case was first brought up by U.S. officials in a phone call with the Romanian government last week, and then followed up by Trump's special envoy Richard Grenell when he met with the Romanian foreign minister. A fourth person said a request was made to return the brothers' passports and allow them to travel while they waited for court proceedings to conclude. Lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. A few days later, prosecutors said the travel ban has been lifted and the pair's U.S. passports had been returned to them. But investigations into their alleged crimes have not been dropped, and they're expected to return to Romania. Although questions remain whether that will actually happen.
And also, presumably, he's gone now. Once he gets to America, he's not coming back to Romania, I wouldn't have thought.
America's not going to extradite him back again. It's funny, when I met him in Romania, we talked about why he was in Romania. And his line then that he'd said a lot was he was in Romania because it was corrupt. And if you were rich, you could get away with anything. And I guess maybe Washington, is a better prospect.
Right. Why stay in Romania when you can come to the land of the alleged human trafficker and money launderer? Now, I brought you all here today actually because I have a bit of a scoop for you. I've got a little news story for you. Now, I'm not going to make a big deal of alleged crimes here because, frankly, we don't care anymore about prosecuting any of it. So I'm just going to show you that the Tate brothers, in addition to what they've been accused of here, also have been laundering money as literal Bond villains. I don't know why people are think this is the hill they want to die on, but I just want to be clear that these are not free speech warriors. They actually are Bond villains, not in hyperbole, in actual fact. How do I know this? Well, that's the profile they used when trying to set up shell companies to allegedly launder money. I know this because I got Tristan Tate's passport, his fake passport he was using. You can see his name is Scorpius Vladimir, also known as Vladimir Scorpius, the main villain in the James Bond novel. That's who Tristan Tate is pretending to be when signing up for accounts with various payment processors. I know this because I had a whistleblower from one of these payment processors give me these documents and show me exactly what this guy was doing. You can also see it here. Here's Tristan Tate's selfie he gave to these people. He says burner.scorpius@protonmail.com. I'm going to blur out the address given there and the phone number. But the point is, these guys not only have they've been accused of money laundering. In Britain, they actually seized some of their assets for this, but they're literally playing games with the government, and we live in a world where if you have enough money, you can just break the law and then you just yell foul free speech matrix attacks when anyone tries to prosecute you on them. And it's just amazing how it works. I mean, what's so baffling about it is these people brag about it. It's not like they hid it and then now I'm exposing it for the first time. They're the first ones to brag about tax evasion and laundering money. This is why I have my Cayman Island shirt on, guys, because we're in the tax evasion world. So here's what Andrew Tate himself said. This is prior to anything that I'm releasing today was told, or the Britain case came out, the UK case. Here's what he said himself.
If you refuse to comply permanently, you will be amazed how far you can get as an individual. And I mean this. So let me give you an example. My tax affairs are fully in order in Romania because I pay 3%. But when I lived in England, I refused to pay tax. It was 40%. So they started sending me letters and threatening me. You know what you do? You know what most people would do? Reply to the letter, get a clever accountant. Guess what I did? Ignore the letters. Ignore. Then they start sending people around to my house. Where's Andrew? Oh, he's not here. Ignore. There becomes a point where there's a cost-benefit analysis where they sit down and go, we don't know where this guy is. We don't even know how much money he has. We don't know if he's going to pay. He might have left the country. This is a waste of our time. And they give up. because everyone's a coward and fills in the form. I don't fill in form.
Right. Why would you pay your taxes when you can pretend to be a literal James Bond villain? You know what people do? Nothing. Nothing. We bring you back to the U.S. on a special little plane because, hey, our government officials don't want you persecuted, right? In Romania. We don't want you in Romania, right? Why? Come here. Come to America. We don't care. We welcome tax cheats as long as they're rich and famous. You know, we don't want, if you're broke and you cheat your tax, if you don't report $400, that's a problem. But if you're rich, well, we can bend the rules, let's just say. Now, another thing that came up with these leaked documents was they come from TransferWise. Now, this is a payment processor. Now it's just known as Wise. I did confront these people on it because they subsequently terminated the Tate's account, or that's the reports. And so I went to them and I said, hey, you know, what happened, this or that? They declined to comment on the story, saying that they don't comment on individual accounts. I will say that this account was flagged for AML KYC reasons, anti-money laundering reasons. That's what AML means. So it appears that TransferWise was aware of the case. They were aware of the money laundering implications of someone using a fake name, a burner account, email address, all these types of things to set up payments to shell companies. But I also want to be clear that this isn't merely my speculation that they would use this type of name. We also have company house information from the UK of Scorpius Ltd. And we go ahead and see who the secretary of this organization is, and it's Mr. Tristan Tate. So it's not like I'm just going off of one passport which says, you know, Tristan Tate is saying he's Vladimir Scorpius. They created a public shell company in the UK called Scorpius Ltd. Not only that, this is one of Tristan Tate's inside jokes, I guess. You know, you can be loud and proud about it. He calls himself Vladimir Scorpius.
Captain Vladimir Scorpius, I fear no weather.
Listen, we need to solve this problem. It's a big problem.
Why?
Because the ship's wet.
So?
I don't know what they're doing in that scene. Maybe they're coming back to America from Romania. I don't know. What I do know is that once again, these people are not quiet about it. It's not like this money laundering scheme and tax evasion scheme is exactly a secret, because they literally brag about it. And when they're prosecuted, they just cry foul. And we have government officials willing to go to bat for them. It is insane. I just think it's funny. Look, nobody pining over the Epstein list can ever say anything again. I'm amazed by the overlap of people who go, and again, it's not the same things that they're accused of exactly. It rhymes, but it's not the exact same things. But it is amazing how people go, yeah, we got to release the list. I can't believe Epstein was supported by officials and like really powerful people. There's no way. Those same people, dude, if Epstein had just cried that the Matrix was attacking him, right now he would not be, bro, he'd be extradited. He'd be back on Little St. James right now as we speak, sipping a Mai Tai, talking about politics and how much he was persecuted by the elites. By the way, this is what Tristan Tate did about the bank situation. You know, he's struggled getting payment processing. It's a shocker to think about why. And they've complained about this multiple times, and people run to their defense like, I can't believe the Tate brothers are getting persecuted.
There's a friend of mine who owns a bank. I'm not going to put him on blast. I'm not going to say the name of his bank, but he owns his own bank. He's a very successful guy. He's a member. He's a member of my private, an actual bank, a bank. And he said, "Don't worry, Tristan. I'll just give you an account in my bank. No problem." Sent him my passport, my brother's passport, all my details. I said, "Good. Make me a bank account." He calls me 2 days later. He says, "I have never seen anything like this in my life." I said, "What?" "The person who issued my banking license called me today and said, if you give these two accounts, your license is revoked and your bank's been shut down." And I was like, wow. So if you don't believe in the Matrix, if you don't believe me and Andrew are under attack, if you think that we are just, I guess, suffering the consequences of our own actions and that we're criminals and there's no conspiracy against us, explain to me, please, why I can't have a bank anywhere in the world.
Because you use fake passports calling yourself Vladimir Scorpius. It isn't a conspiracy. What are you talking? Oh, if you don't believe in the Matrix, explain to me why I'm not allowed to have launder money and not pay taxes. Really, guys? This is crazy. And all these people eat it up. Oh, they're getting persecuted. Meanwhile, you actually read the case against them, and they open up Scorpius Ltd, Goose Famoose, The Cannon Run, and they allegedly don't pay taxes according to UK police. All the while, by the way, actually they are opening up fake bank accounts. You see, respondents' brothers have continued to open up financial accounts in the UK, using UK identification and holding out their address to be there for business revenues and to launder funds. We don't care about victims. Just dress up in a nice suit. Just brag about what you did. Just be shameless, dude. And then at the end of it, you can just say, hey, they're attacking me. I'm a free speech man. And everybody flocks to your defense. So, look, I hope you enjoyed this little run through the world of crime. I mean, it's legal now. So I just think we should be honest about it. Let's stop pretending it's not exactly what it looks like. You can see it for yourself. I mean, they brag about it. They use literal Bond villain names. They're not even trying to hide it. So I'm just sick of the pretending. Look, we want Bond villains to be walking in America. Hey, that's fine. Just let's be honest about what we're doing. So yeah, that's basically it. I just have been sort of sitting on this information for a while. By the way, I did go to Tristan Tate because although they have, basically said they don't want to respond to me, I still wanted to go to them given that these are, serious accusations, even though they kind of talk about them very publicly. And Tristan Tate, he did respond. Here we are. I'm going to report on the tax evasion allegations and you using different fake names to launder money. If you'd like to make a statement clarifying or adding context, feel free to do so. Specifically of interest to me are all the various shell companies you and your brother created in the UK, like Scorpius and others. And here's the response. So there you have it. A serious response from a serious person. Now they're in Miami, chilling. Captain Vladimir is probably back on his boat. So, yeah, that's basically it.